Hello, and welcome to another episode in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. My name is Jason Perkins. I'm an attorney who specializes in handling Georgia workers' compensation cases. I created this series of videos to provide people who've been hurt at work in Georgia with helpful information about Georgia's workers' compensation laws and the benefits they should receive under those laws. Now, let's jump straight into today's topic. Today, I'd like to discuss with you, does Georgia workers' compensation pay you lost wages when you're out of work because of a work-related injury? Yes, it does. These lost wage benefits are commonly known as temporary total disability benefits under Georgia workers' compensation law. Now, the amount of your temporary total disability benefit is determined based on what you made before you got hurt. In Georgia workers' compensation law, we refer to this as your average weekly wage. Most often, in order to determine your average weekly wage, we look at what you made in the 13 weeks before your injury, and we take an average of that amount. And that's your average weekly wage, kind of like what it sounds like. Now, there are some circumstances where maybe you didn't work for the employer the full 13 weeks before your injury, where different methods may be used to determine your average weekly wage. This might be either what's known as the wages of a similar employee, or sometimes what's known as your full-time weekly wage. Now, when your average weekly wage is determined, Georgia workers' compensation law does not require the insurance company to pay you that full amount in temporary total disability benefits. What you receive from workers' compensation is 2/3 of your average weekly wage. But sometimes it can be less than 2/3 of your average weekly wage because there is a maximum workers' compensation temporary total disability benefit amount in Georgia workers' compensation claims. So you won't receive more than 2/3 of your average weekly wage as temporary total disability, but you could receive less than 2/3 of that amount if you hit the maximum amount because your wages are high enough to hit that amount. If the workers' compensation insurance company does not calculate your average weekly wage correctly or your temporary total disability benefit amount correctly, you can get a workers' compensation attorney involved to help fix that problem. And you may be entitled to get paid back benefits for when you were underpaid, plus any late penalties that the insurance company might owe. Now, when you're receiving temporary total disability benefits, how long can you receive those benefits? Now, the easy answer would just be to say, as long as you're out of work because of your injury. And that may be the case in many situations. But unfortunately, Georgia workers' compensation law is not that simple. And the workers' compensation insurance company would like to stop paying you benefits as soon as they can, because paying you benefits is costing them money. So they might try to stop your benefits based on the time period it's been since your injury occurred, because there are time limits on how long you can receive temporary total disability benefits under Georgia workers' compensation law. They may also try to change the benefits you're receiving to something called temporary partial disability benefits if the doctor says that you can return to some type of work, on light duty or something else, even if your injury prevents you from really going back to work because your job requires you to do more than you're able to do with those restrictions. And sometimes the workers' compensation insurance company may stop paying you benefits even if they have no legal right to do so, or even an argument under the law that they're able to do so. If your temporary total disability benefits get stopped and you're not back at work making as much as you were making before you got hurt, then you should talk to a workers' compensation attorney to find out if the insurance company has really properly stopped your benefits in this situation, or if they've improperly attempted to stop them, and also find out how you can get them restarted if that's the case. I hope you found the information in this video helpful. If you have, please consider two things before you go. First, I'd really appreciate if you give this video a like or a thumbs up, and consider subscribing to this channel if you'd like to be notified of future videos in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. Second, if you've got workers' compensation questions, please reach out to get answers. I offer free consultations in Georgia workers' compensation cases. If you'd like to set one of those up, there's two easy ways you can do so. The first is by calling the phone number at the bottom of the screen, and the other is by reaching out to us to our website, which is www.perkinslawtalk.com. Just click on and submit the pre-consultation request form there, and a member of our team will reach out to you and get a consultation scheduled. I'd like to thank you again for watching this video today. I'd like to wish you the best of luck as you recover from your injuries.